aka Patters, welcome. It's Saturday, it's Friday, it's Leatherface Day. We're talking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I am your host, Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pad, aka the Pop Culture Pope, aka the Sketchbook King, and the Eclectic One. I'm coming at you rough and hard, because that's what this movie is. This movie is a legit horror movie. Let's get through that intro. We even have to talk the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Let's get through that intro. Alright everyone, before we get into something spooky, let me tell you something. Trial by Fire is my comic book available right now on Indiegogo. Link in the description, and I will see you on the printed page. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is a delicate beast. Let me just get some of my screens up here. I need to get right into it because this movie blew me away. I had no idea that it even existed. If I wasn't such a fanboy for Stephen Dorff, I would never have added this movie to 31 Days of Dread. Now, I had two Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, or Leatherface. You know, let's be honest. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is Leatherface at this point. And I got two movies mixed up. I had a Texas Chainsaw movie, and then I had a Texas Chainsaw 3D. And I don't know how, I really don't know how it happened. But I watched Texas Chainsaw 3D, and I'm like, oh, okay, like this is like everything immediately after the first movie. That's kind of cool. Looked it up, confirmed it, like all that stuff. And then, hey, glorious suggestion, Leatherface came up, and I just saw Stephen Dorff, and I'm like, what is? Then Lily Taylor is in this movie. Lily Tyler, and I'm almost like, what's the deal? So I'm like, I don't know. Like, one's a sequel. Leatherface, this is a prequel. This is the origin of Leatherface. We have a lot of Rob Zombie thank yous out there for this movie. 1974, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I'm sure at one time was the most profitable movie ever with the budget that movie had, with how much it made on the back end. There's so much discussion of which one of these horror movies is the most profitable movie of all time. We have this, Nightmare, Halloween, I think, had the title for a very long time. And then in 1986, couple years later, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, also directed by its director, Tobe Hooper. Tobe Hopper, if you like Poltergeist, check it out. Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, 1990. Now, I made the point with Chucky, with Child's Play transitioned into Chucky, and it was like the only one of these movies that did. I was wrong, because Texas Chainsaw respected Leatherface early on, 1990. 1997, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. This is the most infamous of the stack. Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger, we can take it from there. I have yet to see that. I kind of want to see it. Marcus Nispel. We're going to discuss him at the very end, day 31, because he's the genius behind the Friday the 13th remake by Platinum Dunes. Platinum Dunes, Team Michael Bay, Team Brad Fuller, off of the success of Transformers, so on and so forth. They bring back Texas Chainsaw Massacre, toy line, everything. Tobe Hopper he's one of the producers. So we have this like collection. We have this collection of mine. Yeah, and look, we always get this idea that when there's a level of success, like Transformers, it's a bastard. It doesn't respect the source material. All these other things. It doesn't matter, because they made so much money off of Transformers, they sunk that into some lower budgeted movies. There's definitely a trickle-down effect when it comes to blockbuster success. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 was a straight push to bring that franchise into the forefront and to continue it. It never got off the ground. The Platinum Dunes horror movies never took off. It's amazing that it didn't. Great toy line by McFarlane Toys, also by this 03 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then in 2006, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning, which I am I'm a little bit confused about, because I had the beginning and then I had Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. I thought somehow like they're the same. They're the separate. I'm not sure what happened. And you know what? Before I get into tomorrow's episode, I have to make sure which one of these two I just watched. If it was the '06 or the 2013 Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Now, 3 years ago, 2017, we have Leatherface. Leatherface is a stacked movie. I'm not even sure when this movie came out. It didn't even make $1 million in the box office. I'm not sure what happened to this movie. It's if we want to go into some of the influence here, Rob Zombie did this Halloween remake that everyone loves. Newsflash, everyone hates any horror remake at all. Rob Zombie does this analysis of Michael Myers where he puts the kid into a mental asylum, and we see this like slow, drawn out, painful, like echo of pain, and we kind of like like immediately Michael Myers becomes like relatable, and we feel sorry for him. This is now like a trope that's in any like silent killer. Okay, we see here in Leatherface, this movie copies the Rob Zombie Halloween. American Horror Story has just had a they did like a 1984 summer camp season. It's really hard for me to get through the American Horror Stories outside of 6 episodes, because the story it's always rapid and erratic. They use the Halloween trope within American Horror Story. We'll see more of it as time goes by. This movie sets us up well because we kind of have like 3 males. Everyone escapes, 1 girl or 2 girls, like 2 girls, 3 guys. We have 5 people escaping this mental asylum. We have a tag. We have a guy that we think is going to become Leatherface. It's an easy fake out. It's an easy setup. He doesn't, newsflash, he doesn't become Leatherface. That dude dies. And then slowly as the movie goes on, we see the emergence of what would later become Leatherface. And this movie ends, of course, with him sewing the skin mask for Leatherface. Now, this movie has legit imagery. It has legit fright. There's one scene where Stephen Dorff is getting chainsawed to death. Welcome to the 31 Days of Dread. And the blood is coming off of the chain, and it's like splattering and dripping at the same time. It's such a poetic, perfect shot. Again, it is screaming and speaking horror. We have some wonderful exit wound, laceration, practical special effects being done here. Stephen Dorff plays a he's a sheriff. He's like a local deputy to the Sawyer family, because those are protagonists in any Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's just a family out of control, cannibalistic. They kill who they want. They kill his daughter in the beginning of the movie, and throughout the movie he's on the revenge kick, and he gets it a few times, but we know he's not going to survive, because of we need this movie to lead into Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 1974 original. It doesn't matter. Like, we know he's going to die. There's a great anticipation. His revenge, he's ruthless in this movie. Perfectly portrayed by Stephen Dorff. Lily Tomlin. Is it Taylor or Tomlin? Wait. Lily Taylor. I had it right. Okay. I Shot Andy Warhol. Go see that. She plays the mother. And this is why this works so well with Texas Chainsaw 3D. Because that one, it's about the family. It picks up right at the end of Texas Chainsaw 3. Like what happens after the girl gets away in Texas Chainsaw. And, we see the mother, we see the family. And, we know the name Sawyer. We get into a little bit of the family history. Like, all these things. And this movie lends itself perfectly to go right into Leatherface. These 3 movies really do work well together. Now, the final of any trilogy isn't there except if you're Lord of the Rings. We have to be absolutely honest with that. If we're looking at these 3 movies as a trilogy, as an arc, it's suitable. It really is. It's worth it. Everyone. Go check out Leatherface. Prove me wrong. 31 Days of Dread. Peter A. DeLuca here. I love you. Leave a comment. Promote this to your friends. We're trying to grow the AKAPAD army, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for hanging out with yo boy. Quick announcement. So this episode is dedicated to my father, R.I.P. Tony DeLuca, Tony Iron Feet. We love you and we miss you every single day.